Okay, everyone, good evening. My name is Loretta Koth. I am a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, but most importantly, I have been on a mission along with all of these amazing people on this call to inspire healthy living around the world with the Juice Plus Company. And I could not be more excited to be hosting this call tonight. This is our normal team call time. And I was gifted with the opportunity to hear this presentation just a couple weeks ago in Raleigh, North Carolina, when Dr. Ann Smithson shared this very powerful message. I've known Ann now, I think, for 5 years since I moved to North Carolina. It was such a wonderful gift to me to travel to Raleigh and to Cary and to do events with her and her team and get to know her. I've stayed in her home, we've hung out, we've ate many meals together and became very fast friends. And so I feel like this is a gift and a privilege that she said yes during this very busy season for all of us to come on our call with her time and her expertise to share her message tonight. The doc is in, okay? And I am going to read her bio and then say, a few more things that I know about Ann, because her bio is important to me that all of you hear this. So Dr. Ann Smithson, she's a family practice physician in Raleigh, North Carolina. She grew up in Alexandria, Virginia, graduated from UNC Chapel Hill with degrees in chemistry and psychology. She received her MD from the University of Virginia and completed a 3-year family practice residency at Carolinas Medical Center in Charlotte. After several years in private practice in Richmond, Virginia, she and her family relocated to North Carolina, where she has been the campus physician at Meredith College for 24 years. After she was diagnosed with cancer in 2006, she discovered what powerful medicine, nutrition, and exercise can be. When her family moved to a whole food, plant-based diet, they saw dramatic improvements in their health. She and her husband, internist Dr. Robert Smithson, have both become focused on wellness and prevention in their practices. Her goal now as a physician is to help her patients see the connection between nutrition and health. The Smithsons have 2 sons, Dr. Rob Smithson, a philosophy professor at UNCW, whose wife is an oncology nurse practitioner, and Connor, a captain in the United States Marine Corps. They are also proud grandparents of their beautiful little grandbaby, Erin, 1-year-old now. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? And, I'm just going to tell you too, though, Ann is a friend, a mom, a wife, a community person. She's a doctor, but you are just going to love her as a friend tonight because she shares from her heart. She's real. She is going to be vulnerable and share her story. And Ann, I am just so grateful that you were willing to gift us with this talk tonight.
Wow, thank you. It's an honor, and it's a privilege to train on your team call. You have been such a blessing to my team, and you have helped us over and over again. So it's nice to be able to repay in a small way. Okay, so we're going to see how this goes. This is my first time doing sharing a PowerPoint training. So I'm going to hit my share screen. Okay, let's see. Okay, so far so good. Okay. Can y'all see that? Or Loretta, can you see that?
Yep, perfectly.
Okay, so I'm wondering if there's a way for people to minimize their I just minimized my thing so that they can see the slides. They might need to adjust their screens. So the title of my talk, as Loretta mentioned, is The Doc is In, and I'm just going to share some of the most commonly asked questions that I get as a physician. Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay, got to start off with a picture of my family. On the bottom left is my son, Rob. He, as Loretta mentioned, is a philosophy professor at UNC Wilmington. He's married to Caroline. She's an oncology nurse practitioner. There's sweet little Erin. Upper right is my son, Connor. Obviously, he's in the Marine Corps. He's a captain. He's in forced reconnaissance, which is scary as a mama. And that is my husband, Chip. Also, his real name's Robert, and that was from Tampa. And there's our cute little one-eyed rescue doggy Echo, who Loretta knows. Okay, so how did I go from pills and procedures to produce and prevention? I practiced medicine the way I was taught in medical school for more than 20 years. And that was handing out prescriptions, believing that your DNA was your destiny, and there wasn't a whole lot that you could do about it. But gosh, what's today, the 17th? Okay, on the 22nd of this month will be my 12-year anniversary from getting a phone call that completely turned my world upside down. It was a call from a surgeon right before Christmas telling me that I had breast cancer. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was completely blindsided. I had just had a normal mammogram. I didn't even have a distant cousin who had ever had breast cancer. I had just sent Rob off to college out of state, and Connor was still in high school. And, my thoughts were, I'm not going to be around to see them graduate and get married, and I'm never going to be able to snuggle with my future grandchildren. It was terrifying. And once the shock wore off, I went into research mode. I needed to know something that I could change that could improve my outcome and hopefully help me beat it. So I knew there was something going on, and I needed to make changes. I read everything I could get my hands on. My husband and I went to medical conferences all over the country. We were shocked to hear how important nutrition was. I know you've probably heard this before. Doctors aren't trained in nutrition. We had maybe 30 minutes in med school. We learned that 80% of chronic diseases are preventable, including cancer. I mean, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty empowering. It was really good news for me because, I thought I was eating fairly well, but I knew I could do better. So I changed my diet dramatically, eliminated a lot of stuff, added a lot of stuff. This picture was just a random shot from my refrigerator the day I decided to take this picture. I bought a juicer. I bought a Vitamix. I started making green juice every day and green smoothies every day. And if you've ever juiced, it's doesn't taste good. It's messy. It's time consuming. And and it's expensive. And so I did it, even though I didn't like it, because I thought, well, this is going to improve my outcome. I'm getting more produce than I would be able to eat on my own, and I'm going to have to do this forever. Fast forward 4 years, thankfully, a registered dietitian, Dr. Kim Dalzell, told me about Juice Plus. And I was one of those people who was getting more than the 9 to 13 recommended servings, but I wasn't getting 30. And I had learned that variety was important. They say eat the rainbow for a reason. And, I look at what was in Juice Plus and I said, I'm not doing all this on my own. So let me go ahead and get started. We had very little expectations. We were eating so well. But I believed in the research, and I believed that what it was doing on the cellular level was going to be important enough for me to stay on it forever, whether or not I noticed any external benefit or not. And I loved that my kids could get it for free. They were both in college at that time. So no expectation, but we loved it. We all noticed more energy. Both my kids did sports in college and felt like they were bouncing back better than their teammates. Connor joined the military after that, infantry officer, and now special forces, and that's incredibly demanding. And he's healthy. He's just doing great. I had a lot of joint pain from my cancer treatments, completely went away. I didn't have that daily reminder every day of that horrible diagnosis. My migraines are better. My husband and I are both primary care doctors, and we have each had one sniffle in 8 years. And that's pretty amazing because we're coughed on all day long. We love to work out. We have more energy to work out. That's especially important if you're a cancer survivor. So I wish that somebody had told me about Juice Plus 25 years ago. I can't help but wonder if I would have even had this diagnosis. All right, so we know that nutrition can make a big difference. I love this cartoon. Okay, Jack, you have two choices. You can have heart bypass surgery, have your chest opened up, a vein taken out of your leg, sewn into your coronary artery, cost $117,000 and 3 painful, exhausting months to recuperate, or we could put you on a whole food plant-based diet. Gee, Dr. Kale, a plant-based diet sounds kind of extreme. In my experience, that's what people say. They say, you tell them that they should eat more plants and less processed food, and they're not super motivated. It's time consuming and, doesn't fit into their schedule. that's why Juice Plus is just a perfect solution. Look at what somebody can get by simply swallowing a couple capsules every day. For plant-based eaters like me, and we hear this a lot, oh, I already eat healthy, I'm a vegetarian, I'm a vegan, I'm whatever. You're not, I guarantee you're not getting all that. And variety is important. For most people who are not eating that well, I think it's an amazing first stepping stone to better nutrition. I mean, I would venture to guess that most of you on this call are paying better attention to your nutrition now than when you were, when you first started on Juice Plus. That's been my experience, at least with my customers. So it's a great first step. It's funny because when we have so many events in our area, and we do a lot of, Taste of the Shred parties and whatever, everybody brings such healthy food. It's so delicious. And we just kind of get accustomed to that. And then you go to something in your neighborhood or at church or at work that's a potluck. And my husband and I look at each other and we're like, oh my gosh, there's nothing here to eat except for what we brought. So it's good in that way. All right, I want to caution you about thinking about Juice Plus as a cure for people's medical conditions. Please do not make medical claims. The company has been very clear about this, but I hear about people seeking out their friends with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, and telling them that they're going to fix them. I feel like you're really setting yourself up for some disappointed customers. Because think about it, if somebody is told that their cholesterol is going to plummet or their blood pressure, they're going to get off their blood pressure medicine, and they go to their doctor and their numbers haven't changed yet, what are they going to do? They're probably going to cancel. Now that said, everybody can benefit from more fruits and vegetables. And there's not a medical condition out there that can't be helped with more produce. So, who knows what kind of healing can take place, but just don't make any promises. Okay, now we're going to get into the meat. This is probably the question that I get asked the most about because there's the most misconception, a lot of misconceptions. And for me, it's personal. So what about soy and breast cancer? There are a lot of myths about soy causing breast cancer. And as you know, our complete protein has 4 plant proteins, one of which is a minimally processed non-GMO soy. The reason there's myths about soy causing breast cancer is soy contains phytoestrogens, plant-based plant kind of estrogens. And since estrogen made in the body can promote breast cancer in certain circumstances, it might make sense that phytoestrogens from soy could do the same. But that's not true. And the reason is that we've got 2 kinds of estrogen receptors, alpha and beta. And the estrogen that's made in our body can bind to the alpha receptors and can promote breast cancer. But the phytoestrogens in soy bind to the beta receptors. And they actually are anti-estrogenic. They inhibit the tumor-promoting effects of estrogen made in our body. So they're protective against breast cancer. And there have been 5 studies published since 2009 with more than 10,000 breast cancer patients. All 5 of them have shown conclusively that soy consumption is associated with a decreased risk of death and a decreased breast cancer recurrence. So that's really good. Now this is clean soy. I'm not talking about like fake meat and, we did not have tofurkey at Thanksgiving. I'm talking about, something that's clean, like in our complete or edamame or, non-GMO tofu. The other thing that's really cool is that they found that little girls who do 1 serving of soy from childhood through puberty lower their lifetime risk of breast cancer by about 50%. So that's really awesome, particularly if you've got any customers whose mothers, who have breast cancer in their family and they're really concerned about it, or anybody who just has little girls. I didn't have it in my family, I still got it. So, I'm excited that I've got a granddaughter who can have soy from the beginning. Okay, is Juice Plus safe during chemo and radiation? Absolutely. There is no evidence that antioxidant-rich whole foods should be avoided during chemo and radiation. Um, Antioxidants that are isolated, fragmented, made in the lab in supplements and vitamins should be avoided because they're not in balance and they can undo the damage that chemo and radiation are trying to cause to the cancer cells. But antioxidants in whole foods, and that includes Juice Plus, are in perfect balance. And so they actually protect the healthy cells while somebody is doing chemo and radiation. And there's not enough of any one particular antioxidant in Juice Plus to interfere with cancer treatment. It's really just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. If somebody says, their doctor says, I can't have Juice Plus, I say, have they told you that you can't have fruits and vegetables? Because that's all it is. Okay, this is a really common problem, particularly if somebody has not been eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. When they get started, they could say that they're feeling really bloated and gassy, and that's really uncomfortable, and sometimes people want to quit. Well, plant foods are what feed the good bacteria in your gut. And so when people have gas, it can be a resurgence of those good bacteria when they're getting the food that they need to get stronger and to grow. So it can actually be a sign that things are getting better for their long-term health. It's usually a temporary bloating, kind of like, I like to think of it as a rearrangement of the gut flora. The bad guys are going down, the good guys are getting better. Healthy gut is just so important for your immune system and for your moods, anxiety, and depression. So we want to get the good bacteria. Well, let's talk about Crohn's and ulcerative colitis and IBS. You need to go slowly with all of these things. Crohn's and ulcerative colitis are completely different from IBS. They are autoimmune conditions, and they have they can have ulcerations and fissures. In Crohn's disease, it can be anywhere in the whole GI tract. That's from the mouth to the anus. Ulcerative colitis, it's limited to the colon. But because there's all that inflammation and ulcerations, they're not able to absorb a lot of their nutrients very well. And so Juice Plus can be really powerful as far as healing that inflammation and helping them get back on the road to good nutrition. But you want to go slowly. First week, start with maybe one fruit, add a berry the second week. Third week, add a veggie. Fourth week, add the second fruit. Fifth week, add another berry. Sixth week, add another veggie. Now, obviously, if they're not having any trouble with this, you can go much faster. IBS is a different thing. It's really more of just kind of a sensitive GI tract, and I still recommend that people go slowly with this. And a lot of times they find that their IBS gets better. Stress is something that can trigger IBS flares, and Juice Plus definitely can help with stress, and we'll talk about that later. Celiac disease. Well, there's so many people who are avoiding gluten these days. Some people just because they feel less bloated or they feel like they're thinking more clearly. But for people who truly have celiac disease, which is also an autoimmune disease, it is a medical necessity that they avoid gluten, which is primarily in wheat, but also barley and rye. And it's hidden in all kinds of things, salad dressings and marinades. All of our products are certified gluten-free. And again, like with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, they can have a lot of inflammation and be in a state of poor nutrition. And so Juice Plus can really help with that inflammation. Oh, I love Juice Plus for pregnancy, for pregnant mommies. We really do really are good for from the womb to the tomb. Think about a developing fetus getting 30 different fruits and vegetables every single day as it's developing, as its brain is developing, heart, bones, eyes, everything. You don't ever want to promise a healthy baby, but I mean, most babies do really well with Juice Plus. One concern that people have is, what about a prenatal vitamin versus Juice Plus? Well, the main reason that people want you to take prenatal vitamins is because of the folic acid. folic acid, which is the synthetic form of folate. Folate is in green vegetables. Folic acid is made in the lab. They know that that can lower the risk of neural tube defects like spina bifida. Well, our Juice Plus fruit and veggie, 3 capsules have 475 micrograms of folate, and most prenatal vitamins have 400 micrograms of folic acid. I'm old school. I delivered several hundred babies back in the day, and I'm kind of brainwashed with prenatal vitamins. So I would not necessarily tell somebody to stop, but I do think it probably, adding Juice Plus to a prenatal or doing it instead of a prenatal, I think is the way to go. Thyroid disease, Hashimoto's thyroiditis is a very common autoimmune disease type of hypothyroidism. As we talked about with Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, Juice Plus can help to balance that out. I do want to make one mention of autoimmune diseases. A lot of times I hear people say, oh, take Juice Plus, it's going to boost your immune system. Well, that's great if you've got a weak immune system and you're catching every germ that walks by. But if you've got an autoimmune condition, your immune system is already in overdrive. You don't want to boost it. So I like to say that Juice Plus balances the immune system. It brings somebody who's, got an autoimmune condition where your body's actually kind of attacking itself, brings that, lowers it to bring it back into balance. Whereas somebody who's got a very susceptible immune system, it might strengthen it. When somebody is hypothyroid and has to take a thyroid supplement, and I do, you can't take thyroid medicine with food. You have to separate it. So but because Juice Plus is food, you can take it an hour after you take your thyroid medicine. Supplements like vitamins and even our omegas have to be taken 4 hours after thyroid medicine. Second to pregnancy, maybe diabetes is my next favorite subgroup of people that need Juice Plus. Diabetics are at risk for heart disease and stroke and kidney disease, blindness, neuropathy. Fruits and vegetables offer such powerful protection against that end organ damage and complications. But so many diabetics are afraid of fruit because of the sugar. And so think about all the nutrients that they're missing. Well, the beauty of Juice Plus is there's essentially no carbs and sugar in the capsules. Because the sugar is water soluble. When the water goes out, so does the sugar. And, many type 2 diabetics are overweight. And if they lose weight, they can reverse their diabetes. And so when people take Juice Plus and they are correcting years or decades worth of micronutrient deficiencies, a lot of times they lose their sugar cravings. I know that happened with me. And so think about a diabetic who's overweight. They lose their sugar cravings. They're not eating as much sugar. They're not eating as much food. They're wanting more fruits and vegetables. They have more energy. Maybe they can go to the gym and exercise. They lose weight. They either, reverse their diabetes or lower their need for meds. I mean, that's an amazing, that's great. I mean, Juice Plus is a calorie-free, sugar-free way to get incredibly powerful disease-fighting nutrients. Complete, I love that for diabetics. People sometimes get freaked out because they see a little bit of sugar on the nutrition label. But there's so much fiber that it's low glycemic. It's the glycemic index of broccoli. And what glycemic index is the relationship, the ratio between carbohydrates and fiber. So if something has a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, but no fiber, like candy, Skittles, not the kind of rainbow we want to eat. Look at this graph. You see your blood sugar in red zooms up. And what happens if you can secrete insulin? Your body your pancreas makes this insulin to break down the sugar, and then it crashes if you don't have that fiber. And then you feel weak and you feel jittery and you make bad decisions. And that's when you grab the closest thing to you. Complete, on the other hand, is low glycemic because of the 8 grams of fiber, not counting any vegetables or fruit that you might add. And so your blood sugar is well sustained, and you do not get that jitteriness where you're making bad decisions. So it's a really good choice. I actually have an endocrinologist on my team who recommends Juice Plus for all of her patients, especially the diabetics. Surgery, well, Juice Plus is food. It doesn't promote clotting. It doesn't promote bleeding. When people have surgery, they're told do not eat after midnight. That includes your Juice Plus. You do not take your Juice Plus the next morning. As soon as you're allowed to start eating again, you can add the Juice Plus back in. And I would say double it up. That will help with wound healing and lower the risk of infection. My husband has had 3 knee surgeries, 2 pre-Juice Plus and 1 post-Juice Plus. And they were all, arthroscopic surgery, not anything too major. But the last one, he'd been on Juice Plus, and he was 10 years older. He was in his 60s, and it was a more extensive surgery, and his recovery was a fraction of what it was before. So the orthopedic surgeon is a Juice Plus customer now too, because he saw the difference that it made. Okay, Coumadin is probably the oldest blood thinner out there. It's prescribed with certain heart conditions, after blood clots, certain orthopedic procedures to keep the blood really thin so you don't get a clot. And those patients are often told not to eat leafy green vegetables because they're high in vitamin K. And vitamin K is a little bit of a blood thickener, so it can counteract the blood thinning actions of Coumadin. Well, look at these foods that are highest in vitamin K. Kale, spinach, turnip greens, collards, Swiss chard, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. In my book, they are like the top of the nutritional pyramid. And so think about somebody who's already sick enough to need a blood thinner being told to avoid all those foods. So it's really not that you have to avoid vitamin K, it's that your vitamin K has to be consistent. And it's really hard for somebody to eat the exact same amount of salad or broccoli or Brussels sprouts every day. And that's why it's just easier for the doctors to just say, just avoid these foods. Well, once again, Juice Plus is a perfect solution. Why? Because it's consistent. You're getting the same amount of nutrients and the same amount of vitamin K every day. And you're getting the benefit, well, there's no turnip greens, but you're getting the benefit of all the green vegetables that have vitamin K in it. And actually, there's only 10 micrograms of vitamin K in 2 of the veggie capsules. There's none in the fruit or the berry. There is 20 micrograms in the complete. I don't know what that's from, maybe the spirulina or something. So I think if somebody is on Coumadin, Juice Plus is a great solution for them to get good nutrition, but they need to take their Juice Plus religiously as if their life depends on it, because it does. Once they're on the Juice Plus, they can titrate the dose of Coumadin, and they just have to take that, make sure they're taking that veggie blend every day. I probably would be very conservative and tell somebody not to do complete, because I think that's hard to make sure that you're getting complete 365 days a year. Stress, anxiety, and depression is so common these days. We've got so much on our plate. Kids are being prescribed anti-anxiety and antidepressants, and it's so prevalent in college and also in adults. And, I think part of it is probably related to the way we're eating, so much processed food, and we're so busy and on the go. Well, think about how you're going to handle everything that life throws at you. Are you going to handle it better if you're eating, chips and Coke and candy bars, or if you're getting colorful fruits and veggies? Your brain needs those nutrients too. And so when people change their diet and when they add Juice Plus, many people notice that they're handling what life throws at them so much better. And, back to the slide about the gut, feeding the good gut bacteria, we've got all these serotonin receptors, serotonin production made in our gut. And so Juice Plus helps, feed that good bacteria. And many people find that they're dealing with what life throws at them so much better. Well, nobody has time to be sick, do they? When kids are sick and they have to miss school, then mom has to miss work, and it's just miserable all in all. So because Juice Plus is food, I tell my customers, at the first sign of a scratchy throat or sniffles, or if somebody that you worked with was sick, or if you're on an airplane or other public travel, if you're extra stressed out, if you've, whatever's going on, or something's going through your kid's class, double up, triple up, quadruple up. You can't overdose. I also love it if somebody is traveling. It's really hard to eat. I think it's hard for me to eat as well as I do when I'm on the road. So I always take extra. I don't know. I'm sure there's some guys on this, so don't be offended, but I just thought this was funny because usually so much stuff kind of falls on the woman. So I apologize to any men. There were no men. I think there was only one man at the regional in Raleigh. Okay, do I need to take vitamins if I eat Juice Plus? Well, you can ditch the multivitamin, but Juice Plus is not a good source of vitamin D and vitamin B12. Most adults are deficient in vitamin D. I think that's because we're spending less time outside, and when we are outside, we're using more sunscreen. We're thinking about wrinkles and skin cancer as we need to be, but we're blocking the natural vitamin D from the sun. Complete has mushroom powder in it, which is the only plant source of vitamin D, but it's not usually enough for most people. It's very easy to, and inexpensive to get a vitamin D supplement. Most vegetarians and all vegans need a B12 supplement that's only found in animal products. Adults over 50 and people that are on certain medications like proton pump inhibitors like Nexium and Prilosec for acid problems, also metformin, which is used for diabetes and PCOS, that can interfere with B12 absorption, so get a level checked. The omegas, I love our omegas, a plant blend of of omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, no fish burps, no concerns about mercury or PCB toxicity. It's sustainable. Do you know how much fish you have to kill to produce fish oil? It's not a sustainable practice. I had one of my best Juice Plus product stories is about the omegas. I had horribly dry eyes for about 15 years now. Tear duct plugs, Restasis, steroid drops, all kinds of lubricant drops. My eye doctor had me on 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 fish oil and no improvement. I've, within about 6 months of starting on our omega blend, my dry eyes completely went away, confirmed by my eye doctor. I can wear contact lenses again. It's been amazing. I probably have at least 15 friends, customers, who heard about my dry eye testimony and have had the same results. I have had only one person with dry eyes who did not notice benefit. So it wasn't something that I think the company was looking for, but it's something that a lot of people are noticing. This is my adorable little granddaughter, Erin, and I want to talk about babies' taste buds on Juice Plus. My daughter-in-law took Juice Plus before she got pregnant and during her whole pregnancy. She is still nursing, so Erin has had plenty of Juice Plus. She loves, I'm not kidding, everything. She eats kale, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, onions, peppers, broccoli, sweet potatoes, beets, black beans, quinoa, you name it. I mean, I've never seen her. There's no fruit or vegetable that she won't eat. Well, she had her very first taste of sugar on her first birthday. Caroline made her some cupcakes, and she did use some organic raspberries in the frosting. So this is Erin's first taste of sugar, and let's see what she thought. She didn't like it. And I love that, that I hope it continues. Caroline's got friends and their kids are living off of vanilla wafers and goldfish and string cheese at the same age, and they won't eat anything. And I have to think it has to do with the Juice Plus. Okay, so as we, once again, I just want to remind you that, no claims or promises that it's going to cure anything. Juice Plus is incredibly powerful nutrition. It's the kind of nutrition that most people are missing out on, and your body knows what to do with it. You're going to see your customers are going to see decreased inflammation. We've got numerous studies to back that up. And that's the cause of so many medical conditions these days. So the body is going to get healthier. Speaking of doctors, I suggest that when you go to the doctor, and they say, what medicines do you take? Put Juice Plus on it. I found it to be a great conversation starter. All of my doctors take Juice Plus, including my oncologist. And I think the way to start with everybody wants their doctor to, recommend Juice Plus, or I think the way to think about it is, the way I approached it at least was, I tell people, my doctors, the wellness industry is booming. People are looking for things to do to prevent disease, not just take drugs. And Juice Plus is something that has been just booming. And, your patients are going to ask you about it. Don't you want to know about it? So you can give it a green light or not. And they've all said yes. And then they say, oh, I've looked at this research. I want to get on it too. So I love that. And the other thing to remember is that doctors are just like you and me, and they've got their own set of health concerns, as do their family. And so that's the best way to start. Okay, you've probably seen this before. It's so true. It can save your life. And, it's never too late to start Juice Plus. I love this quote. It might have come from Jan Roberto. I'm not sure. I think that's the first place I heard it. We want to die young, as late in life as possible. And Juice Plus can help with vitality so that you can enjoy. So many people are just working so that they can enjoy their life when they finally retire. Well, if you don't have your health and you don't have the energy to enjoy it, what do you have? So I'm just going to, as we finish up, I hope that you guys realize what an incredible gift we have to offer people. Never in a million years could I have imagined that I would be working with the Juice Plus company, but now I just can't imagine my life without it. As I mentioned, when Dr. Kim Dalzell first shared Juice Plus with me, I was impressed with the research. I fell in love with the products. I found myself telling a few of my friends, just like I would a restaurant or a movie or a sale. I had no plans on doing anything more than that. I was working full time. I liked my job. I was paid well. I loved my coworkers. I was busy outside of Juice Plus, and I definitely was not a salesperson. But my health crisis shifted my focus in medicine to wellness. And I wanted to help people prevent and even reverse disease. Handing out prescriptions as a quick fix to people and not, addressing long-term health changes just wasn't fulfilling to me anymore. And, I want to help people to take control of their health. And I see Juice Plus as the perfect avenue to help people see the connection between nutrition and health, and nutrition and vitality, and nutrition and disease. And I honestly feel like I'm making a bigger impact on people's long-term health with my amazing team of Juice Plus wellness warriors than I can in my office. And the culture of Juice Plus, the kind of people who are drawn to this, servant-hearted people who want to make a difference, they bring out the best in you. And who doesn't want to be around those kind of people? This business is fun and rewarding in ways that I never even knew that was possible. I can honestly say that I wake up with passion and purpose every single day. And isn't that what we're all looking for? And why should we settle for less? Some of my very, very closest friends, the ones I talk to every single day, I probably wouldn't even have known if it weren't for this business. I wasn't drawn to this business for the money. It's totally okay if that's what drew you in. But I will admit that the residual income that I am making each month working part-time around my busy life is way more than I could imagine. And it has given us all kinds of options. We save more, we can give more, we can do more. Fun stuff. We love to travel, and we take amazing vacations. We're making really special memories, and we're debt free. So, I am not ready to give up my doctor job yet, but I have cut my hours in half, and I'm working because I want to, not because I have to. And I don't know when I'm going to retire, but when I do completely retire, I have so much peace and comfort knowing that I'm going to have a growing Juice Plus check coming in every single month for the rest of my life. I mean, you talk about a great retirement plan. And, you know, the cool thing is that as our paychecks grow, it's a reflection of the number of people we are helping. You know, we are part of a movement and we are impacting future generations' health. I mean, I can't think of a more noble way to make money. I'm just so grateful that someone was brave enough to share Juice Plus with me. And so now I really feel like I am a physician on a mission. And we are one team, one mission. And it is a privilege to be on this mission with each and every one of you. Thank you. Oh, now what do I do?
You up at the top, and is stop your screen share.
Yeah, it was hidden. I see it now. Okay, there we go. All right.
We'll go back to gallery view. Hold on one second.